Hi, this is John from Sharp Mountain Games, and today I'm going to let you take a peek inside my solo RPG journals. The secrets of the universe will be revealed. Artists here on YouTube often do sketchbook flips through, and I thought it might be a neat idea to try that with solo RPG journals. Now, I'm obviously going to only be able to show you mine, but I'm hoping it'll give you some ideas about how you might want to arrange your own journal, and maybe to encourage some of you to start solo role-playing as well. Solo role-playing, it's a great way to get more gaming in our lives. There's an awful lot of talk about gaming on the internet, but I think this is a good way to actually get some more real role-playing in our lives. Now, do you need a journal to solo role-play? Of course not. You can just grab some scrap paper, keep track of hit points, or whatever else you need to, scene trackers, and you can have a great time. Journaling is not required. I can only say that for me, it was really a game changer. I just find it makes the sessions more memorable. It helps me practice my writing a little bit, and it's really nice to have that record of what happened. So we're going to take a quick look, I promise you it won't be too long, through 3 of my journals and some of the things I've learned along the way. And sometimes I've learned it the hard way, but you'll have this. So let's take a look at the journals. So the first journal we're going to take a quick look at, this one is my superhero one. And you can see I have 3 superheroes here, Spider-Man, Iceman, and Firestar. You may remember the cartoon. And I just thought I'd try to give this a try. Now, this is using the Marvel Superheroes system. So along with the notebook, unfortunately, I do need the universal table. So I kind of need to sit at a table when I do this, or someplace where I can have this chart handy. I don't know if I could shrink it down enough to paste it inside the book. But one thing you'll see in the other books too is I like to have all the characters together in a chart, and I like simplified characters for solo role playing. Now, if you're doing character sheets, you'd have to have those separate. Certainly, you could still use the journal to record the adventures and as things happen. So I usually have the title of the adventure in red. That way I can easily find where it's starting. And I've kind of been trying to put on the side here, what the name of the scene is. And I think you'll see that I'm just using bullet points. So when I'm saying journaling, it does not have to be, that you're writing a 600-page Stephen King novel. I don't advise that. I think it takes too long. And how much you write will be up to you. You may just write a few words. You may write some phrases. That's what I do. And then right in here, there was a combat going on, so I was keeping track of hit points. And then, okay, next scene, and I draw a line here to separate the scenes. And I have the scene titles on the side. Now, I just started this journal, so this one is kind of brand new. But one thing I'm already learning from it, for example, here you can see a pteranodon and a mastodon. They get loose and they have to capture them. Is one thing I'm trying to think about is maybe instead of hit points for superheroes, something like scene points. And the reason for that is because, for example, if these wild animals or prehistoric animals get loose, they probably aren't going to be trying to kill them. So maybe instead of, whittling down their hit points like Dungeons and Dragons, they'd be whittling down the scene points by trying to maybe ensnare them or to scare them back into their cages or something like that. So as I said, I just started this journal, but already I'm learning some things, and it's given me some things to think about how I might adjust the universal table a little bit to take that into account for superheroes. So let's put that one aside, and let's look at another one. And I bet you can guess what I used this one for. Obviously, I was just lucky that I happened to have this Star Wars one that someone gave me at some point. Now here I actually had some character cards, and I just pasted them in here at the beginning at the front page so I could flip back and forth and work with those characters. And again, you're going to see the red for the start of an adventure, and we were going through it here. And then what I did here was, and I encourage you to do this with your solo RPG, I thought, well, what if I try a different system? Now, this is a slimmed down version of the old D6 system, the old Star Wars D6, basically based on Mini 6. I thought, well, maybe I'll try that because, it's classic. It's a little different than my usual D20 roll under. And I did. And I ran an adventure in that. You can see I put the, again, the scenes on the side here. Sometimes I even highlight the characters' names just so I can find them easily. And what was really good about this was I found out no, I didn't really care for the D6 system as much. It was okay. I mean, it's not that I had a bad time, but I wanted to try something different. So for the next adventure, I had some different characters, and here I was trying a 2d6 roll over. I wanted to see how that worked. I had an idea in my mind. So again, I had my characters, and we tried another adventure. You can see the red for the start of the adventure. So these journals can really be a great way to try out different systems. So these were all in the same Star Wars universe, but I was able to try out some different setups and see if I like them or not. And I think that points to a good thing about solo journaling is that, if you're playing with a group, you can't jump systems all the time, or you can't keep changing things all the time. I've made that mistake myself, changing rules too much if I'm trying to homebrew something. But if you're doing it by yourself, hey, you can't do it wrong. You just give it a try. And then later on in the journal, let's see if I can find, I really went back to my D20 roll under system because I'm comfortable with it. And it's also much easier than counting other dice, counting multiple dice. It's just easier, to give one a quick roll. Did you hear it roll there? And see the results. And like I said, it's good to keep a record because one thing that I found, like this particular adventure I liked, and I'm actually going to convert it and maybe try it solo with my Star Trek or try it with a group with Star Trek because I do have to change some things to change the flavor of it all, but I still have the record. It'd be pretty easy to do that. This is my Star Trek journal. My son got me this notebook for Father's Day. And this is the one that's actually the most full. And one thing, let's see what I can point out here is, because I've been using this one the longest. Okay, so here's my regular main characters. Sometimes I use a little bit of blue or a different color just to make it easier to find things. But as I was playing through some of these scenarios, I actually found a few in the old Star Frontiers modules in the books that I wanted to try, but those were more combat oriented. So later on, what I could do is for particular missions, and there we go. So for a particular mission, I don't have to use the same characters all the time. I could say, okay, well, this time maybe a security guard comes down with them, or maybe 2 security guards come down with them. And you can change it up. And I would just recopy the information about the characters. It doesn't take all that long. And so they might, again, it might be a slightly different contingent just for that particular game or that particular scene. Now, I sometimes use watercolor and the pages get a little bit wrinkly, but if you're using a highlighter, it probably wouldn't do that, or colored pencils, it definitely wouldn't. So that's this journal. Like I said, this is the one I think I've used the most. Maybe a good third of the way, or not quite half, maybe a third of the way. I can't wait to try some new things in it next time. So I hope looking at my journals, basically just that it gave you some ideas. Maybe you like some of the things you saw, or maybe you saw things and thought to yourself, I would do it totally differently. That's fine. You do it the way it makes you comfortable. It makes you happy. So let us know in the comments of any tweaks or maybe tricks for RPG journaling that you have. And if you got something out of this video, please give it a like or consider subscribing. So thanks so much for watching, and see you next time. So here at Sharp Mountain Games, we have a few adventures in print, such as the Star Mermaid, the Dwarven Pickup Truck, and the Sky Tree, and you can check those out at Amazon, Lulu, and drivethrurpg. Also over on drivethrurpg, we have a number of other adventures and character classes, and even some stock art. On Roll20, we have some map packs and character cards, so you can check those out if you're interested. And as always, please like and subscribe, and we hope to see you again real soon.